Hi. So I got the pleasure of over spring break of getting to take a spring break trip with my church to Boulder, Colorado. I took lots of pictures. We had a whole like Google Photos thing full of pictures that everybody posted and uploaded photos and videos to. And so I guess I kind of wanted to do like a little video journal here of my spring break trip, just for some of the people that would want to see some of the photos. So I tried to separate them out into categories because some of them, the videos definitely, like the pictures didn't organize themselves into like, oh, this started at the beginning of the week. So if something, I'm kind of have to jump around. I tried to organize it as much as possible, but just jump right in, I guess. So at the airport, this was our first lunch that we had. I had Burger King, and we weren't planning on eating because we basically ate before we left the airport, uh, and we weren't planning on eating until we got there, and it was going to be like 11 o'clock by the time we actually got to Colorado because of the time skip forward plus the travel time. And we got there at the airport at like 11. I think it might have been 10 or 11. I can't remember. So when we ate lunch, it was like, all right, guys. I think this was in I can't remember if this was. I think this was in Charlotte that we stopped and got food, and it was. I don't know if it was just because it's in an airport, but it was expensive. It was like $20 for like two sandwiches. So we ate there. This is my friend Jose Martinez. He's just one of the guys from my church. Uh, over this like looking back at all the photos, I saw like how blurry some of the photos were, and it's just like in the moment you don't like check to make sure. So there's a lot of photos that are blurry, but this is just like we first got to the airport in Orlando, um, going out, like about to travel out. So this is the guy in the middle is Bennett, and obviously that's me. Uh, this is us leaving. I can't remember. A lot of the airport photos kind of blend together just because all airports look kind of the same. This is just so starting from the front. I don't know if you can see the little mouse here, but this is Brad. This is Rolando. This is Mark, who was my gospel partner for the week, which is just the guy that I preached the gospel with. This is Cameron. This is Ravel. This is me, and that is Sarah. Let's see if I can get. There we go. Sarah Burrows. I can't tell who that is, and I think that's Christina, but I can't tell anybody else. I think that is Bennett back there too, and this is Ed. And there's a lot of names thrown out, but this is Sarah Saucedo, and this is so the leader of the trip was Mitch and Jordan, and they're just one of the minister couples at our church, and this is their two babies, two kids, I guess. This is Lydia, and this is Charlotte. I don't know how old she is, but she's pretty new. Like she's fairly, fairly young. This is Brad again, and this is the usher lead, Richard. And this is once we actually got to Colorado. I think this is the lunch that we took um, after church on Sunday. So when we left the airport on Saturday night, it was like there was like this big holdup with the rental vans because we got like several 15 passenger vans for just to haul everybody around, but there was like an issue or something like that with the rental, and so when we got to the airport, we were there for like 2-3 hours just waiting for Brad and Mitch to come back with the vans, and so when uh, we got home at like 1 o'clock, like to the houses that we were staying at. And so when we woke up, ate breakfast, we had like 4 or 5 hours of sleep that night. We woke up early for church, had lunch, and then went to church, had the service, and then we went to lunch. And so this was the first, I think, lunch that we had in Boulder. And this is the mountains exist apparently over there. So we definitely took advantage, even though we're like literally in the middle of this dingy parking lot. We're taking pictures of the mountains in the background. This is me as well, taking it in the same parking lot. The other thing too is that like, so So over there, they really like let us know is like, hey guys, the air is super dry and super like it's just very uh, abusive on your skin. And so like throughout the week, I don't really like lotion all that much just because it makes my hands feel sticky. And so I was putting like oodles and oodles amount of like coconut oil like all over my body, trying to keep my skin like somewhat moisturized. And so it wasn't until like halfway through the week that I was like, oh crap, it's like getting, because it was on my hand, and so it'd get on my phone, and then it would get on the camera lens, and so when I'd take pictures, it'd be blurry like this one, and I'd be like, oh, what the heck? And so I started like having to clean off the camera like all the time. And this is the lunch that I got the first day that we were there. I was like super willing to try like new foods, and so um, I think this is the first time that I had like willingly chose to eat pork, which is that what it was, just grilled pork, a soft boiled egg, and some ramen noodles at one of the restaurants that were at that plaza that we were in. It was pretty good. Uh, Probably wouldn't go there again. A lot of the food, like, and this is something that I started to notice like halfway through the week. I was like, holy crap, I'm spending a crap ton on food. Just everything over there is so expensive. Um, I would be lucky if I spent less than $15 on a meal over there. But that was good. It was a really good meal. I had sat down with my friend. So who did I go with? I went with Jose, definitely, Edward, and I can't remember the other guy. Rolando. That was the other guy we went with. This is. Oh no, maybe it was Benson. I can't remember, but I think this is. I think the four guys that I went with. I think it was Benson, not Rolando. Which is this guy over here on the left side, and this is Ed. And we were just taking another photo after we had finished eating. So time skip backwards. This is just one of the pictures that somebody took while we were leaving. I believe this is when we were leaving Charlotte. And so since we were traveling, the sunset lasted forever. Like we were traveling with the sunlight, and so the sunset lasted a really, really long time. And then this is us landing in Denver, which is a little blurry, but you kind of get the idea. It's just city. I think that's it for this one. So let us go down. How do I go back? Oh, just exit out. Haha. All right, sweet. So, whoa, no. Okay. Balance been restored. We're good. I think we're good. Yeah, we're good. So I'll go through these ones real quick. This is like halfway through the week, sort of ish. A lot of the photos that we have is like when it snowed, because we were all like Florida, like no snow, and we were mind blown like coming in. It was really funny because when we were flying over, when we left Charlotte, we could see the ground from like the plane. And so we'd see these massive white patches, and the girl I was sitting next to, her name was Stephanie, which is one of the girls from our church, and we were looking down at it, and we're like, what is all of that? Like, we were looking down, and we just see these big white patches. They're like, is that like sand? Like, why is there so much sand everywhere? Because I didn't think that it was going to be like snow, because it's like didn't really seem that like cold enough for snow. But yeah, there was like large patches of snow on our flight over, because actually Charlotte was actually colder when we got there than it was in Boulder when we got there, because it wasn't really that. It was pretty chilly when we got there, and as the night progressed, obviously it was a lot colder, but it was really cold in Charlotte when we first landed, and we didn't really like leave the airport or anything like that, but we felt it when we were coming through the terminals. And so when we got to, I can't remember if it's just sometime during the week, we would take pictures like on our like trips on the road. We take pictures of the mountains and stuff, because it's like mountains covered in snow. And I don't know what it is with like these. I don't know what it is with phone cameras, but I swear to goodness, when you take like a picture, it like takes the mountains specifically and just shrinks them, because when you would stand there, you'd be like, wow, that's like really big. And then you try to take it with a phone, and it's like, it looks so small and tiny. It just definitely does not do any justice to the mountains at all. And so this is same parking lot from before. I probably took this picture actually after I cleaned my screen. This is some of the guys. I tried to. This is definitely not an exhaustive list, by the way. There's a lot more photos, but I tried to skip like a lot of the photos where it's just people that you guys wouldn't know. Uh, so this is Jose, Bennett, Richard, Benson, Cameron, and Brad. And this is I think they all lived in the same house. And so at our house, this is really funny. We just had a banana. We had like for breakfasts or for snack or whatever, we had this thing of bananas, and this was the second of two bananas that were extremely straight. And so I just had to take a picture because I thought it was funny. So this is a little bit of the campus. I forgot I'm not in full screen mode again. A little bit of the campus when we actually got on Monday to the campus. A lot of the buildings were, I don't know if they're fake brick or real brick. They have this like kind of brick style where they has like the textured look. And this is just like one of those, I don't know, brass statues on campus that is just a buffalo. This is, so we would meet at, so right off campus, it wasn't like right off campus, but a little bit off of campus from the college, there was this kind of oldish style hotel called the Millennium Hotel. And it's actually where the church does their services. And so it's like super close. And so we meet in this parking lot, or met in this parking lot to like before and after, before we walked on the campus and stuff like that. And so this is the guy who owned the house that we were staying in over the week, and his name is Jason. I just thought he looked really similar to a guy I know that lives in Palm Coast, so I took a picture with him. And so this is, I think this is later in the week, but it didn't have any. I think it might have been Wednesday or Tuesday. It's not really like late, but we were going out to dinner. We had finished preaching the gospel on campus, and so we were playing to. Oh no, your computer made. Oh, we're good. Are we good? Okay. We just took a picture. Wow. I think this was Tuesday because I remember it was my birthday. So it was Tuesday. We were going out for dinner, and so we just took a quick picture. It was really cool. And I think this is where I went to dinner. This is the people I went to dinner with. And this is my friend John. This is Sarah, Marissa, Ravel, Stephanie, other Sarah. Ooh, don't remember her name. She was one of the ministers from the other church over in Boulder, so I can't remember. I can't remember either of these two people. This is Christina, this is Grace, and obviously that's me. And we went to a restaurant called Bar Taco, which is, I would not recommend it. I mean, it was okay. It was a little pricey for like how much they actually gave you, but it's just a cool photo we got to take with each other. And so this was the whole team. So on, I think it's probably Wednesday or Thursday, we took, it might have been Tuesday. I can't remember, but we got everybody together in this big field that they have on campus, and you can kind of see that brick style that I was telling you about. And yeah, like it was super cool, like being on campus because you just see these massive mountains like in the background, and it's like I really wish that was like at my school because it's like every time you'd walk a certain direction, you wouldn't see them because it's literally like right on the edge of the Rockies, and so you would facing one way and you wouldn't see like any mountains at all, but then you would turn around and you see like the mountain ranges, and it's just like holy cow, and you'd forget that they were there because it's just not something you're used to. And so these are some of the ministers from Resurrection Church. This is Sarah, Idiot, Ravel. This is Marissa. This is Audra, John, Christian, I don't know, Bennett, other Sarah. This is Mark, Grace, Jose, I don't know. That is Benson. This is Jace, Stephanie, don't know. Brad, Richard, Cameron, don't know. Me, I don't know, but she was really quiet. I think this is more. Oh, this is Chris, and this was Joshua. Yeah, Joshua was the main guy that me and Mark were paired up with. We weren't like walking with him, but he was the minister that we would like. Oh, hey, we met this guy today. We would tell him like, hey, this is what like happened today. This was Chris, who's just kind of like the like outreach pastor over there. I guess he kind of like leads all of the ministers. And then this was Mitch and Jordan, and I think Charlotte's in here, and Lydia is like she is out. It had already been a long day, so yeah, that was pretty cool. And then we just had to shorten everything so everybody could. This is just from our church, from our trip. I took this picture of a sidewalk symbol. I just thought that it was really funny because like it was normal, and then on this side, his like shoulder was just thick, and we had this running gag over the week that we were talking about like the Winter Soldier, and we kept joking that it's like it's just his shoulder, and so we'd call him the Winter Shoulder because it's like he has like a normal arm, but then like as soon as it gets to his shoulder, it's like just a vibranium shoulder, but like everything else is just the same. So we kept calling him the Winter Shoulder, which I thought was really funny. And so I saw this and we called it the Winter Shoulder. And this is a picture I took just one of the days. I can't remember when. I think it's probably Wednesday because it's all cloudy. So it hadn't quite snowed yet because it snowed on Thursday, but it was starting to get like really cold and it was kind of wet. But this is just from campus. I think this is right next to the UMC, I believe, which is just like their student kind of like their student hub over there. I don't know how long this is. Oh, it's already 16 minutes. This is me. Try to buzz through some of these because I don't want to make this too long. This is just driving in the vans. Sunset picture. Sunsets are over there were really cool. Obviously, like when you're preaching the gospel to people, you don't want to just like walk up with the camera. So we don't really get a lot of pictures of us preaching the gospel, but this is us like being on campus. This is Brad, and I believe it was Cameron that he was with, and just talking with a guy. It's really pretty campus, like actually really pretty, and we got to lay our hands on a lot of people and pray for them just because like we wanted to. There was a lot of resistance. A lot of people like either hadn't heard of the gospel or they're very resistant, and so at any moment we would not necessarily like try, but we would always encourage people like, hey, like if they had like a knee brace on or something like that, like we asked if like, hey, if you want us to pray for you, we can, and so we would show them I think it's the verse in Mark 16 that talks about like laying on of hands. Another picture of that, and so there's just another picture of the Colorado campus. The skies are really clear up there. Like I don't know if it's just because there's less atmosphere, the atmosphere is thinner, but the skies were super like colorful up there. And I think this is on Tuesday that we went to dinner. It's kind of hard to tell, but there was like this strip that we went to where we had just tons of restaurants and kind of just like an area. I don't know. And this is just one of the main entrances for the campus. This is another instance where we're preaching the gospel to people. One of the buildings just on campus. It's got a flag on it. It's cool. Why don't you let me go next? Oh, is that it? All right, sweet. So close that out, and we'll go through the late ones. So I'm going to try to buzz through these ones because there's a lot of like just landscape photos that don't really need much explanation. So I'll just kind of buzz through a lot of what's this. This is just a panorama. I did want to mention that like up in Colorado, there was just like oil rigs like all over the place. Like I don't know if they ever work anymore, but I guess at some point like oil drilling or oil pumping or whatever is like a very big thing over there. They work everywhere. Like everybody and their mother was trying to get a hold of oil at some point. And so on Thursday it started to snow. So right before we got picked up, we decided to get roll around in some of the snow here, and we got a snowman built. He's got this little crappy smile and these tiny toothpick hands. It's just Mitch. View from the campus on Thursday. Mountains eclipsed by the clouds there. some of our group, a little bit more landscape. So these little outcroppings here are called the flat irons, and just kind of like where the sediment layers have been like turned up sideways, and so it looks really cool. They kind of protrude out from the mountain, and they were covered in snow here. This was on, I think it was Thursday or something. No, this was Friday. Friday? Friday. We took a trip up into the mountains just to get some to play in the snow, but we didn't get to go all the way to where we were planning on going, just because the roads were too icy. But we ended up stopping at a place, but it was beautiful. Like all the snow was super powdery, super cold. Air was really thin, and this is a lake here. It's frozen. This is just the other side of the road, I believe, and so it is really, really pretty up there. And people had like houses and stuff like that. There's just like like a town up in the mountains, and oh man, super jealous because like people had just have cabins up there, like hot tubs, like on the side of a mountain, and I'm just like, you guys have no idea how great you guys have it here. Some just more. I think this was the entrance into the park. I think it was Rocky Mountain National Park or something like that, and so we got a lot of pictures, a lot of like just kind of fields full of snow that we were like all itching to play with. The views were absolutely astonishing. Like, oh my gosh, it was so good to see all of this. And like Preaching the Gospel on campus was great. Like, we got to talk to a lot of students. We didn't get a lot of actually pictures of that. Just like I said, it's just hard to take pictures when you're talking to people that don't want to talk to you. And so a lot of the photos that we have are of landscapes and stuff we got to see. And so this was only on Friday that we got to, because all the other days we were spent like out on campus, like preaching the gospel to people. We got, so you can see how it's like icy the roads are. And in those 15 passenger vans, we didn't have like snow tires on them, and so we didn't want to risk it going too far. And so we stopped at this little area here, which was like a little viewing area, and we just decided to play there instead. And so we got to take a picture with everybody, and I've already introduced everybody, so kind of just zoom in a little bit. It was hot. Like, the sun hits you hard over there, and I was running around like crazy, and so like I'm the only one that's like literally got like no clothes on, because it was, even though it was like 30 degrees outside, I was like sweating profusely. Like, it was actually pretty bad. And we just took a silly photo. Hear me laying down in the snow. Dude, the boots, I got these boots like the week before I left, and I'm still wearing them right now. But oh man, those boots made a difference on this trip. It was like night and day. I would have been miserable if I would have taken my other shoes. Just some other pictures we got to see. I don't know what this is. This is like a pump house or something like that. I saw that, but it's just pumped into this lake here. It's also really weird that some lakes would be frozen and then some parts would not. Like, you literally have like a lake and then you have another lake next to it, and that one would be frozen, but like one of them would not. And it was just like, why is some frozen? Even if it was like 60 degrees outside, you'd have frozen lakes, and it's just like, you guys don't know how to freeze. Like, you guys are broken. Just more houses out here. Just kind of skimming through. There's a lot to go through. The landscape was really pretty. I really felt in my element, like, over these breaks. Oh, actually. So I don't think there's going to be any in this picture, but a lot of the land out there is just these massive grass fields. And the like more I started to look, like through the week, I'd start to like see like things move, and I thought they were like bunnies or whatever. But they have like an obnoxious amount of prairie dogs that live like in these fields here, and so you'd be driving down the road and you'd see all of them like kind of like in their holes just poking out of the ground, and it was hilarious, like meerkats. It was really cool. And so it had these really good pictures. I think this was a sunset picture, but the snow is great. You can see them, like the snow blowing off the side of the mountains. I think they have a close up here somewhere. Yeah, where the snow is like actually coming off of the mountain is really, really cool to see. And this is one of the other ministers from the other church. That's her baby. I think his name is Andrew, but I can't remember. It's been too long. This is on Saturday. Saturday? I think this is on Saturday. We took a hike to this mountain. So this is the mountains, the Flatirons that we were talking about earlier. Oh wow, this video is getting long. And so we took a trip to this place called Chautauqua, which is just a park where you can walk and hike. It's pretty cool. Yeah, there you go, Chautauqua. There's me. Just some of the groups. This was one of the pastors at the church over there. His name is Pastor Steve. He's a really cool guy. Really like him. I found a really big stick, and so somebody wanted to take a picture of me with it. There's another one. Some more of the walk. It was really, really pretty up there. There's me. Oh, excuse me. Again, with like a really dirty camera, so I couldn't get like a good shot. We decided to take another group picture with lots of group pictures. Like we definitely wanted to make sure that people knew that we were there. It was really, really great being with these guys. And this is another picture I took. I didn't take all these pictures. Like some of these pictures I just borrowed from somebody else, but it was really pretty. This was I think this is the morning of the first day of snow. Like I said, this is another picture that kind of just has snuck its way to the end in the wrong spot. And the campus was all covered in, like, when we were there on Thursday, they told us that we didn't have to preach to the gospel to people if we didn't want to, but we were like, we don't get to preach the gospel in the snow very often. It was like actively snowing, and so it was really pretty walking around campus and seeing the trees like all covered in snow like that. And they started to melt and fall, and it was really gross and wet. And this is a little, I can't remember who took this photo, but it was a little actual like six-sided snowflake star. Somebody landed on somebody. It's a picture of the moon, but you can't see it. And this is some icicles hanging off of a cabin up in the mountains. Should be a picture around here of us. We made a snowman. Not that one. It's a different. That was a tiny one. Where is it? Different photos. Back to where over there. More of the Chautauqua Park. There's another field. I wonder if there's any prairie dogs out here. Nope, doesn't look like it. That's all right. There we go. So it was me, I think, I can't remember the name of this kid, and then it was Richard, and we got together and we started rolling snow just on this mountain. And there was a lot of the snow was super powdery, and you couldn't compact it together. Like no matter how hard you pressed, it was like sand. It was so cold. It wouldn't compact together, but some of it was like kind of slushy. You can kind of see on the ground here, and so we got to roll it up into a snowman, and that was really cool. This was before me declothing and tearing off my thermal long sleeve. Yeah, Jose too, I think, helped out. So that was really cool getting to do. Okay, so every day before we went on campus, we had what we call a prayer meeting, which is just we get together and we had people play music, and we sing and pray, and some people will get up and prophesy, which is really cool. So another picture on campus. Another picture, some snow. This is Gracie. Kind of going through. It was really pretty. Like I still am like really blown away. There's Brad with snow in his beard and Ed just kind of chilling there. Being up there, like the biggest thing that kind of shocked me was the sun hits really hard. Like since the atmosphere is so thin over there, it doesn't block as much as the UV as it does here in Florida. And so it was like super duper. Like when you'd go outside and you'd start to feel like we were putting on sunscreen like every day, like especially like when we went up to the 10,000 foot mountain, it was hitting hard. Like it was hot. This is a pretty bad photo, but we stopped at a park on our last day just to have lunch, and it was really, really cool after we had come down from Chautauqua. Here's another. We got in this big circle and we were throwing a frisbee, and so I can't tell if I have it in my hands there, if I was just waiting to catch it or something like that. Oh yeah, look at that. It's right there in the air. But so I was getting ready to catch it. It's one of the other days we were just out there in the snow. Some really good photos. I think these are elk. They're not deer because I don't think deer live up there, but I had some elk. That's the last of that. All right, cool. So I'm gonna make like a small video that's separate from this to show the videos, just because this is like a lot of just like video of me talking over photos. Um, and so I'll make a short video to go over because I have some videos that are actually really cool. So anyway, sweet. Thanks.